We're live.
All right. Welcome to Rage Across Scotland. Someone give me the date. What's the date? Sorry about that. Date's the 10th. Yeah. See, I'm way ahead of you guys. I'm way ahead of you guys, so it's like 11th for me. So 10th of January, 2017. A moot has been rumored to be called. Clients and other ranks have been coming in and out of the sept for the better part of the day, making their arrival so they can all attend. This just happens to be a meeting of minds of some new to the nation guru. I'll have one of you guys start for a second because I'm distracted on trying to find something relevant. So this is an introduction scene for these characters. These 4 characters.
Well, Jake actually wouldn't have taken any of the moon bridges to get there. He actually would have wandered up on foot to basically just right outside of the Bond, for pulling out a bottle of water, and a pocket full of sand, and actually forming a rite of cleansing as soon as he felt the Bond, and literally just stand right outside of the Bond and form a rite of cleansing. But he's, as far as appearance goes, he's 6'5", maybe 150 pounds with everything he's carrying.
Gaunt and unhungry looking.
Yeah. Otherwise, photo kind of gives a little gist of his appearance, if I can ever point to it. Let's see. How much dice do I
He's
hear?
got appearance 3, but basically TV ugly.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right. He plays the TV nerd, appearance 3.
Hey, I think that actor is really hot. Come on now. Don't you know? Okay. Let's see. Stupid mystic rites and hiding where the rules are for the rolls. I'm sorry. What plus the rituals? Yeah. Everyone loves rite of cleansing, right?
That would be in a rite of accord. It's charisma and
yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, same dice pool either way.
And you must spend a gnosis point, huh?
Only if you're affecting more than one target.
Is it?
Yes.
They changed it. Oh, my bad.
I'm not the best ritualist, but I got my success, which is all that matters. So he'll perform rite of cleansing on himself with a bottle of water from screen and sand. Probably the most unusual combination for Guru. Circle of water and sand. Maybe throw in lighter or 2.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, because it takes
10
takes
minutes.
time to, it takes your time. Loping through the Bond on his daily hunt / patrol. Pure Water Howl catches a glimpse of the, what you're doing. Has a stop. You're unfamiliar to him, so he's gonna watch and wait till you're finished, so that he doesn't disturb your rite. He recognizes the rite almost immediately. He will, of course, once you're finished, just keep an eye on you for a bit. His body language is friendly, but not overtly familiar. It's friendly but formal. Body scent, as well as body language. Pretty much, if you can pick it up through Primal Urge, would tell you what his name is, because he's just sending it off the entire time.
As far as Jake, he is in Hamid, but he doesn't particularly look like it's exactly natural to him. Like, he still has problems with not just the size, but also like proportions. One of those where it's obvious that he's used to having arms, but not used to being the size of a Hamid.
All right.
But after he finishes, he'll look at the wolf and basically kind of tilt his head slightly and just stare at him.
I'm going to spend a Gnosis points as well, guys, to activate heightened senses. This is just a default thing my character normally does when meeting new people. Just to pick up all the sense and body language and cues it can possibly do off of meetings. So as he observes you, you can see he's sniffing the air. His ears perk up. He's not just seeing you; he's taking in as much of everything as possible, and does pick up on your uncomfortableness from your form. Clearly, you're not hiding it, so there's no reason to not pick up on it. In wolf speech, of course, because I'm in wolf form. He's like, who are you?
And he'll actually answer back in English. Well, been called Jake, at least that's what people decided to call me. Believed to be born under the crescent moon to multiple Guru, and adopted by Al and a Cliath.
Body language, as well as the expression on his wolf face and in his eyes as he's seems to be weighing your words, weighing your intent, weighing everything about you. The mention of you being the offspring of two Guru, there's no hiding it. His ears flatten slightly. He does get almost a reflexive, disdainful growl, but that goes away soon enough. It's not like he harbors it and holds it. He comes up closer to you, sniffing, showing that there's at least some semblance of trust that he's closer to you now, so he's not keeping his distance and is not being standoffish. He's not submissive in any way. It's more cautious.
Meanwhile, as far as his body language, he definitely not showing any fear or any submission either. He actually stands in not aggressive, but it's obvious that he definitely cares to do what he wants and isn't really well into the standard acts.
Pure water howl. We'll let out a. Just 1 second. We'll let out a howl. This is actually. I'm doing a segue so people can join. We'll let out a howl to announce your arrival. So that not just himself but other guardians will know that you're here. There's an air of it's like everything's stated as a matter of fact. He's not passing any disdain or any intent to taint anyone's view on who you are as you come on to the Set Bond, the Bond grounds, which for those that are familiar with how Métis are treated by any tribe, there's usually some semblance of prejudice, but even there doesn't seem too much in this wolf's howl. I yield my time. It's I'm done.
I'm gonna go ahead and let someone first, because after that howl gets let out, my slow ass is gonna be like, oh fuck, where are they?
Well, there's going to be a very, very, very huge lupus, not even a Hispo, like just coming up, just like coming into like near the Bond, and he's gonna be like carrying a deer on his back and a deer in his mouth. And the way he walks, not walks, but like, you know, just how he trots along, is just, you know, it could be imposing, but you know, he's just a very big ass wolf, like just huge. And you know,
we were commenting earlier that they're basically, we didn't know Scotland had buffalo. This guy's huge.
Yeah, basically.
Like, my God.
And he's just going to just walk near the, you know, near where the, you know, Gru is gathered to 2 Gru, and just basically put the deers down and wiggle the one from his back and just say a couple of words. I'm Flint. Food.
Out of character, a quick second. You stated on Facebook 2 things about your character, both the huge size and the monstrous. Is the monster? I'm assuming that's the monstrous flaw.
The monstrous flaw is him just being he's huge. The monstrous is he's huge, and he's basically like it. It looks like he's in Hispo all the time. That's the thing.
Yeah, I was just wondering, because the monstrous flaw also means appearance 0, recoil, and revulsion type thing.
Oh yeah, you don't want to see him in his helmet form.
Okay, that's cool. Just making sure. So yeah. The smell of blood clearly gets Pure Water's mouth salivating, and even with heightened senses on, gets him even more so. He's like, that's for everybody? Why, thank you. One moment. Are you okay, kitty? My cat just had a sneeze attack. All right. He does take a few moments pacing back and forth to figure out whether or not you're some alpha in the area, but the way you introduced yourself with the thing, it relays some informality to the situation. So he feels as though you've diffused it a bit, at least. Yeah. Pure Water will just state his name outright. You know, Pure Water Howl of the White Howlers. I'm a Philodox here. Quiet.
Philanthropy.
I can't see your character's overlay. It's all blurry on my thing. Do you have Pure Breed by chance, or is that just I'm not seeing anything?
Oh yeah, he actually has
God,
Pure Breed 4. I forgot to put that.
Okay. Yeah,
Pure Breed
I need
4
to know.
get.
I need to know because my character functions off of natural order and instinct, and pure breed people, especially for lupuses, are almost naturally deferral.
Yeah.
Until
Reminding
proven
me.
otherwise. So, yeah. So yeah, that's the whole thing. It's your guy's so huge, monsters looking. You brought deer for everybody. You got the pure breed. Like it's almost like instantly deference.
Meanwhile, Jake will he will
Look eye to eye.
actually well, yeah, he'll look at the deer, get about 2 steps towards the deer before he will, spinning rage, instantly shift to Lupus. And actually, in Lupus, he's pretty tall. He's still pretty big, but scrawny. Like, real slender. Like, you can see the bone.
You need to eat more.
And, basically we'll walk the rest of the way up to the deer that you threw on the ground and literally just rip a chunk and walk a couple paces over with it. With a chunk of the deer. Sit down and start chewing on it.
I guess the best way to keep continuity with the fact that I already posted to the intro scene after some time in the events that took place, I guess in Hamid form, sort of making he's trying to more or less get a lay of the land and put it into memory because he has eidetic memory. It's better to at least roughly know the area you're going to be walking around so you don't have to puzzle over it for 5 minutes. Makes his way up the cant of his walking stick back and forth, and if he'll kind of trace it out so he with the stick to know where it is and then keep on walking. And Chris's character, fudge, it's down here in the low bar so I can't see it.
Jake.
Yeah. Nomming away, he probably would have walked right past you guys, mostly oblivious as he isn't looking for someone.
Oh, and as far as him chewing, it is actually eerily quiet. How quiet his chewing is. Like even with heightened senses, it's eerily quiet.
That's unsettling, but.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye, telemarketer. Anyway. Well, I don't know. He heard something that caught his attention amongst the 3 of you. Chris, stop doing things that make me have to walk away.
You'd hear the chowing down, the chomping, the growling, and the general camaraderie that pure water is trying to foster between those that are eating. Eating is being a social event for almost any wolves. He's definitely fostering at least a informal relaxation between everyone here as much as it can on a night of a full moon. Moots being all tense as they are.
Doubly so for me. We're gonna get used to playing in our own. He'll pause hearing that, and since he had heard the howl announcing Jake's arrival, but didn't realize it was laid out on his path, as if he's by where each of the chowing are going from, and then quietly asked, "Did I miss something?" Doesn't seem like, based on the way he's looking, it doesn't look like it was directed at anyone in particular.
I was just looking at your character and I noticed you have a flaw pointed up there. So you catch roughly about a third of what I say because it's all in body language. But the gist is food, join.
Yeah, Flint's just chowing down, just his nose is in the food.
In the most horrifically splatterpunk manner. This giant. A giant get.
Kind of, because it's easier at first to get a sense of what's around him, like by feeling and hearing and smelling it. So he comes around with the stick, taps the deer, goes, I'll take the time to shift down to Lupus with the stick disappearing because it's
Dedicated.
There's the word I was looking for.
There you go.
And he'll join.
Your pure breed definitely helps in the reaction, and as my character is, like I was saying, I'm trying to reinforce that he's very instinct driven. He's very open, deference to you as well, not as much as to the nightmare wolf, but he seems overtly inviting as well. And you pick up more of what his name is as, you know, you pick up his scent, you pick up body language, you pick up the fact that he's very tactile, as wolves are, even when just meeting new individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Canines tend to be that way, and that's just how he is. Even with the terrifying wolf over there, he's still very tactile with them as well. You have to be.
It's a third less terrifying because I can't see him doing it. I can only hear and smell him doing it.
Yeah. and where you think a wolf should be, he still happens to be even more there. It's so much more of him. I might have missed it. Did you actually introduce yourself, Sean?
Not yet, but I would assume that feeling it out more in a
you can tell it's
Lupus
really informal
setting.
here as well.
Yeah, that he would kind of informally in Lupus make it known.
Because I was going to say, if you don't introduce yourself, I was going to give you a name that my character's going to start calling you.
He died and made you a Ragabash.
Yeah, well, you know, wolves are what they are. You just be clumsy wolf.
It would fit. he would give, probably begrudgingly say that it was
not unearned.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Your name would definitely play weird. Pinball wizard, weird concepts, but yeah.
He would say blame the glasswalkers.
after everyone seems to be more settled, Pure Water will pull back a little bit as if to let everyone else bond more. It's not that he's separating himself from the group. It's more that it's clear he's more wanting everyone to be at
Get
ease
to
with
know
each
each other
other, to get
equally.
to know each other. Those that are familiar with Philodoxes tend to see a lot of them pull back just to observe how things are going, and that's clearly what he's doing.
Munch, 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 munch.
Yeah.
As
I
everyone's
haven't even
eating,
really
their
figured
bellies are
how
getting
far
full,
removed.
which tends to sate more primal and vicious appetites. Pure Water will break the silence of, break the monotony of the chewing and the growling and the snapping at each other. None of that, of course, by the way, is aggressive behavior. That's just how
Right.
things eat. Have you ever seen sled dogs eat? That's pretty much how they eat.
Yeah.
He'll go, humans talk of something called kismet or fate, and I'm trying to put it in such a way that a blind wolf would be picking up on a third less of maybe what I'm saying, a quarter less of what I'm saying.
Good on the.
It's so tough to talk to a blind person as a wolf. This could be part of our fates that our paths cross. For the sake of camaraderie and alliance, let's share what we hope to see transpire in the moot that's happening at the cairn. I'll go first. There's no reason for me to expect everyone else to go or to volunteer things up if I'm putting the idea forward. I've been told by Thurges and Gallards that I have a fate intertwined with some great future events, and I'm seeking answers to that, as well as brave Gru that want to help destiny and fate unfold to form a pack. Yeah, stare at the wall and meow. That's why I'm here. And I'll, go back to chewing on a piece of belly meat. Stop it.
Under that thought for a moment.
There's a possibility you guys may have heard of my character, by the way, now that I'm thinking about it. I have the background Fate at 4, which pretty much everyone on the continent has practically heard some form of my tied up into future prophecies. You'd have to be completely oblivious to anything your Gallards or your elders would talk about some white howler up in Caledonia that's linked to some events. So as I explained that might align. Your character may be like, oh, you're that guy. My elders said,
I
you
finally
fucking suck and
connected
stay
the
away from
dots. I couldn't
Yeah,
see the
stay
dots
away
at
from this
first,
guy.
but
He's
now
a
I
danger.
feel the dots.
Meanwhile, Jake will take a slight pause from his quiet chewing and chomping to go. Has a moot been called? Mondred.
It's the full moon. There's a mood every full moon. That's just how Seps run. He does regard you with a bit of quizzical. Even Cubs know that,
It's
but just lets it drop.
always a exciting feeling in the air because I can always feel when a moot's about to come.
You can see you can feel. It's almost tactile or palatable how much the
Even more so.
The Philodox is really trying to guide the encounter to everyone just being relaxed. Most of that is also, you can see he defers a lot of his when he goes to speak or when he goes to address you guys, he defers a lot of what he's about to say first to Flint. It's just like this reflex because of his pure breed. And before he addresses anything. So you can basically say he's almost looking for him as cues as if he's the leader. If not anything, he's at least the leader of the eat because he brought all the food.
Oh yeah. Even if I didn't know that there was a moot going on here right now, I can always feel it. Not just because it seems much more innate when you can't see anything. Time passes, but feel it because of my auspice, how close it is to Luna's full face. It boils up inside of me.
On a razor's edge. Just a little bit missing. And a whole lot of power.
Just curious.
Maybe. Yelling, but it would definitely be like, could you say that again? It was a bit garbled.
Well, he'd be like over exaggerating things. It'd be hard for him to hide intent, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just curious.
Probably. So
you speak with an accent.
To add salt and pepper to make it spicier. So, as what you said about fate, what you're searching for maybe is something that I'm maybe not in the same way. Looking for a place away from the sept where I was born, someplace that I could settle down. Maybe that is this.
I've heard of the this term, the Hominborn of the sept speak about wanderlust, the needing to find your own path. About what you're talking about?
That'd be a fair way to put it.
You wander where you wander. You wander everywhere. You move when you fill.
Pure water seems to be giving it a place on how to measure that merit.
And you always have to follow your first impulse, especially if that impulse is to move.
Warrior seek battle.
No. Fortunate for you, us being who we are, if we live by the tenets of the litany, we'll always see battle.
True battle to Ragnarok.
Arches, he looks at you quizzically for a minute when you say Ragnarok, as if it just completely has no idea what you're talking about.
In terms of different phrases, the apocalypse. Ready yourself for battle. This is only
Well-
training grounds to then.
The Thurges do say there's a possibility of what I'm tied up in is definitely tied up into what you're speaking of.
Then I have came to the right place. Then he'll start eating again.
Just as much as it is you're here, it is meant to be that we are here at the same hour as you are.
It's like the humans say, kismet. I think that's the right term. Yeah, I'll go with kismet. Destiny, fate. Pure Waterhowl will start watching Jake more, as he's been very quiet, almost unsettlingly so. He just starts observing and watching, almost as if prodding you just with body language to participate more in the conversation, to bond, and encouraging you to, not forcing you to, encouraging you to, welcoming you to.
He'll look at his food, chew on it a bit, drop it on the ground, and, well, I'm here because everything about me drew me here. Whether it was urge to move, the urge to wander, the urge, restlessness, movement, needing to just move, to react, respond, to find something new.
Following your instincts.
My instincts were to move, so I moved.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that.
And he'll go back to chewing on his food, and it's still that kind of quiet chew, and it's an uneery quiet that almost got a supernatural feel to why he's so quiet.
All right.
Good deer.
Yes, very good. A pack could feed for weeks off of what you brought.
Or
It's clear what he
kind
meant,
of
what he said.
rub
Yeah,
up against.
that's complimentary what he said outright. You know, pack. Yeah, good provider.
And he'd rub up against Flint a little bit, getting more of a feel for how big he is, and kind of just, or in his case,
Like,
maybe
oh
in a
my
couple
Lord.
of days, he would add playfully.
Or until the deer goes bad. Deer doesn't last long.
Hammonds have refrigerators.
Still goes bad quickly.
No, it won't.
Too quickly to eat.
store good freezer.
That makes it rough, hard to chew, not very good.
Are your jaws not strong?
My jaws are plenty strong. Just I'd rather fresher.
Prove it. Bite the skull of this deer.
Pure Water will interject. Breaking bones and thigh bones and rib bones were always good-natured games in my path while growing up. Well, of any kill, the pups, the years, the 2-year-olds, we'd all be participating in who could break the most bones with a quick with our jaws.
That's rough on the teeth. Claws are better at it.
He opens up his mouth and you just see the rows of teeth and the oversized fangs.
He looks at his claws. He says, "Yeah, but kinfolk can't shift and have giant claws."
We will get you new teeth.
The claws are better.
There's even a segment of moots, a time during the moot that's even referred to during this time when we're sitting and eating, called cracking the bone. Using your claws are fine, but not not how Lupus Born do it.
I'd rather break bones with claws, because then you get to hold the remains in your hands. It's funner that way.
But you missed the satisfaction of having their bones in your teeth.
Yeah, but then I have the dissatisfaction of having splinters between my teeth.
Nothing a good flossing of leaves can do.
Extra steps, that makes it slower. Why not go the more efficient route, the faster route? Claws.
Some people
No.
the time slowly.
Pure Water will actually get up from his laying down and chewing on a bone position, and he'll start walking slowly around everybody. It's more of a way to gain everyone's attention so they stop focusing on each other. And he's like, this conversation seems more pointless as we're talking preference on how we hunt in accordance to how we were born. The one calling himself Jake is born Métis, and it would be natural for him to want to hunt and eat and kill in his natural form, which is mostly using his claws. Whereas myself, and I can assume you as well, Flint, were born to wolf packs. and we prefer to hunt and kill with our teeth. Am I right?
He was born of sin.
Yeah, but that's not his fault.
Was the parents punished?
Not my responsibility.
Mm.
Why throw away the spear just because the smith stole the steel?
Sure.
And I wouldn't even know if my parents were punished.
Yeah.
Don't even know them.
Really?
End of the day, we trust Gaia to have done what Gaia had to do. And that's the end of this conversation. For that, there's no reason to pursue it further.
To each his own.
Yeah, not a good idea. I was about to do something. I'm like, nope, full moon. Wait, nope, nope.
The way you talk. White howler.
Mm-hmm.
Pure water. You talk as though you're going to form a pack.
It's unnatural for wolves to run alone. To run alone usually means there's something wrong with that wolf.
Agreed.
Together, we are always much stronger, as Gaia intended. As all of our totems have, all of our patron totems for our tribes have intended.
Agreed.
As to what kind of pack, I have no idea. I hold that. I'll leave that to destiny, though I think maybe it would depend also what the sept here needs, or what my desire needs, and those who want to pack with me wish.
We talk more about that.
Reputation, I know, to get a Fender. You speak of Ragnarok. That's a get idea of the end times. That's what you said.
Yes.
War is what you seek.
It is.
And I keep getting told that my future is tied up into war. Seems like war is my destiny, beyond even just being a warrior for Gaia and of the White Howlers.
Then let it be war.
Mm. Yeah. He seems hesitant to just say, yeah, then to war, let's go.
if that's the case, you seem not be sure, or at the very least, something that's troubling you. And he kind of leaves this a question because he's not exactly sure about.
I need to understand what the fates have in store for myself and those that would run with me. War might not be what's in store for us, though definitely will lead there eventually. But our path might not be a path of war.
If you're of where your fate leads quite yet, a pack bound around wisdom to give you the foresight to know it's maybe something.
The wisdom of instinct. It's a path almost all can understand, because it could lead to war and it can lead to peace.
Instinct leads you to where you need to go, wherever that path might be.
And following
Whether
it is
it's-
wise.
Whether instinct leads you to war, leads you to
Wow.
peace, leads you to love, leads you to new horizons.
Love. It's a idea I'm still coming to terms with. It's a very human concept.
Yeah,
Food is love.
I thank you for bringing the deer, Flint, and it's well met. If it's destined that we run together as packmates, it would be an honor. It would be an honor to run with anybody if it's destined that way. But it's possible that the spirits don't have it in it for us to be together as well.
Even if that's the case, if we are all going to be on the sept together, we're all going to run as the same sept regardless. Would be a good honor as well.
Setmates.
If I'm staying, if you're staying, if
Yeah, yep, setmates.
well, I'm here. Never know where the impulse to move takes you. But it took me here. So I should at least see where impulse takes.
That's agreeable. It's understandable. Feel free to come to me if you have any disputes, any of you, that need settling. We are all guests in this area. It's at least have some familiarity, even though it's passing. It's momentary. It's short. That's the word I'm looking for.
yes, since I'm
Stay,
new
I
here,
shall.
it'd be if anyone's particularly more familiar with, I guess, the going-ons here, and just It takes a bit for
Well,
me
this is
to
a
get.
it's a White Howler sept, and though I'm not from the sept, I do know the White Howler workings somewhat. I'm by all means no expert yet in my tribe's ways.
Any that's happened that I should be aware of?
My tribe mates are largely isolationists. They've held the Scottish Isles, Caledonia for millennia against, well, friend and foe, against Get invaders, the Silver Fang kings wielding their lordly scepters over them. They've repelled the influences of the Weaver and the Wyrm, and we still hold fast and strong. The fact that they've opened the mood up to everybody is of note. As I said, my people are largely isolationists. They don't take kindly to many outsiders, even Fienna, who share a lot of the similar outlooks on life and worldview. Something's happening. And I'm not sure I like it.
Change comes in the wind.
Well, if they see hear, smell the change that is coming, then I guess it's something that everyone here will have to prepare for as well, whatever that may be.
Change is just a response to stimuli. So it's happened. Just respond how your soul drives you. It's all you can do to stimulus.
Well met, everybody. And if we're to run as a pack, I'm sure it'll be a mighty one. I must continue on Bond Guardian patrol, aka I need to go to bed. It's 3:30 in the morning for me.
Ouch.
It's well met, and if we are to run under war, then may the light of the green dragon guide us. Pure Water will give each and every one of you all a, from from head to tail, body lean, walk past Rub as an acknowledgement of thanks for sharing a meal. He'll be especially tactile and for the blind child, the guy, he's figured out the guy is not exactly fully capable of catching on everything. Everything about him when he does this kind of stuff, it's clear that he's trying to foster everyone to at least get along together in a group, or at least work together, or at least be on good terms. Even if he's not there, he's trying to foster a group mentality. He gives a last huff, a yip, however that sounds, and then lopes off on his way. And thanks for listening, guys.
No problem.
Thank you for being in the scene.
And I am going to be going to bed. I'm out.
Do we want to continue the scene, guys?
I don't.
I think that's
I
a
don't
good
know.
part.
Good place to stop as any.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, viewers, for watching, and thank you, players, for participating. Have a good day, good night, good whatever, wherever you are.